It's Monday. Monday. Preparing kickoff. Preparing for kickoff. Things in place for the first play of the game. All right, so what am I working on? Currently, I'm trying to prepare. Okay, so here's the deal. As you know, I'm trying to get to the simulation and try to get the simulation functioning. I've got my stadium loading, and I've got players being put on the field or in the field or whatever you want to call it, in the scene. But in order for me to run the very first play of a game, which is the very first step, I got to go through and start executing and start getting everything in place. In order for me to do a start simulation, the first play that has to happen is a kickoff, right? So I have a couple of offensive and defensive plays made, but what I don't have are any kickoff plays, any special teams plays at all, for that matter. So I had to go to my play editor that I created, excuse me, months ago, and go in and try to get it to start loading some special teams plays. And I didn't have any formations. Okay, and that turned into a whole piece of work. So, okay, there are different rules. If I was only doing current rules, that's fine. You know, I could probably have gotten that in place fairly quick because I only need one formation. But I started thinking, I'm not going to have one set of rules. I'm going to have multiple sets of rules. Now, the current plan is that my game is going to allow seasonal rule adjustments, not individual rule adjustments. But there's a lot of seasons where things change, and it's going to be from 94 on, even though my players are only going to start from 2009. For now, that's the plan, 2009 onward. I probably will start putting some older seasons in eventually. I mean, got to get the 97, 98 Broncos in there, right? I mean, duh. But, and I wouldn't mind going further and further and further back, but that's later. Right now, the plan is about 15, 16 years. We'll go 2009 to 2025 or so, and who knows, rules will probably change. And I wanted to be able to say, all right, we could have these rules. And then I'll do like a summary. These are the rules that change. These are the things that you can expect that are, you know, different if you change to a given season. And you can pick your year, but I don't want it. I want everything to be kind of sort of like actual NFL. I don't want. I mean, at least for now, I'm not thinking I'm gonna have. And the reason for that is because if you're playing with other people, they should be able to know what the rules are without having to go scan what custom weirdness you created in a league. If it says 2024 season rules, they can go look at 2024 season and know what they're looking at, what they're getting, if they want to play with those rules or whatever. So anyway, I ended up having to put in rules. It got overly complicated for some of my AI stuff, as usual. So I had to break it up. So I end up having core rules. Right now, the only rules I have in are the challenge rules, game rules, which are the core rules. These are the things that the game functions on, extra, you know, the play clock and such like that. And my seasons are only the ones where things actually change. So you can assume, you know, between 2006 and 2009, they were the same, right? So that's kind of the concept. So whatever year we pick, there'll probably be like, I'll probably put in ranges, and then you pick, you know, 94 to 2005 would be the same core rules. And you can maybe, I don't know. I probably have to have them all the same, and I'll probably have all game rules be like every year in there, and then I have kickoff rules, and the kickoff rules they've changed a lot, as you all know. The things are totally weird nowadays. Kickoffs are really strange, but apparently we're getting a lot more returns. I don't know if that means we're getting a lot of really good returns, but we're getting a lot more. They said it's significantly increased the number of kickoffs. Returns, which I guess is good, right? But it's such a weird play now, huh? Nobody moves. It's just strange the way that works now. Nobody moves until the ball's caught. So like, you basically get a split second of head start. You know, you catch the ball, boom, you got that time to go, and really the defense has the worst scenario, right, for that, because you catch the ball, the player, your guy catches the ball, but you don't see him catch the ball because you're facing forward, or you might see him, but then you're looking backwards. I don't know. Can you look backwards? Are they looking backwards? I guess I'd have noticed how they line up, but ultimately, it's different. It's weird. Anyway, so I ended up putting all these rules in, and I have them in for the years at which they change. So you'll see here I have 2018 and 2023 because the core rules in the NFL, or the kickoff rules, didn't really change between 18 and 23. So they're the same. And then I have my penalties, and these are every year's penalties. And these are the years that they all change. Kind of crazy, huh? 94, 99, 2002, 2004. So every year in between the rules stay the same. And then I basically have the yards and whether or not they're reviewable. Now, once we get to, not all penalties are reviewable, but some of them are. I didn't realize how many were, to be honest. But, you know, like roughing the passer, roughing the kicker, I didn't know those were reviewable. And they change, you know, roughing, you know, there's been a few that have been reviewable, then not reviewable. I think pass interference is one that became non-reviewable. Anyway, so we got 94, 2016. Let's see what it did. All right, so added 2009 wedge block rule. In 2009, the NFL banned wedge blocks with 3+ players. Added wedge block players 2, starting in 2009. Oh, weird. Okay. Fixed wedge block tracking. Added wedge block players field to all years. So any number, and then 2 and 18-0. Okay, so that's kind of good. So that was actually pretty smart of this because I was using Copilot at first and wasn't quite as smart. XFL style kickoff rules. Changed kickoff yards to go from 50 to 65. Kicks from own 35-yard line, not 50. Oh, when was it 50? Changed fair catch allowed from true to false. No fair catches in new system. So in 2024, you can't fair catch at all? Interesting. Now, you can catch... Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, you have to return the ball because there's no one going to hit you. There's no danger of you're getting nailed the second you catch the ball because nobody's even moving yet. Nobody's chasing you down. And then if you're in the end zone, you don't need a fair catch. You just kneel down, and it works the same. It acts like a fair catch if you catch in the end zone. So, yeah, that's the way the rules are now. I think there's only 24 has that. I don't think there is. I think other years allow that. Added setup zone rule to explain the new alignment. Updated onside kick timing restriction to fourth quarter, not OT. Updated onside kick timing restriction to fourth quarter, not overtime. Remove 2025 entry. Current for 20. Okay, so that's fine. Let's see. Yards to go, 70 equals 30-yard line. Kicking teams 30. Yards to go. All right, so it's just checking things out. All right. I think we're pretty much good. All right, so that was just me kind of having... I like I said, I did some of this stuff with Copilot, and then I had Claude verify my rules, and Claude, for some reason, Copilot wasn't able to figure out the. It only given me 12 penalties in each season, and I kept saying, "Why are you only giving me 12? Give me all of them." Okay, give me 12. So I had to give Claude, and Claude went through and fixed them all, put all the rest of them in. And I don't know, where Claude's source of data seemed a lot more reliable and more knowledgeable, and so I don't know where Copilot was getting stuff. It's probably outdated because it's still using probably AI 3 or whatever. And I didn't know they still did clipping in the NFL. I thought that was just blocking the back, but apparently they're just two different versions of the same play. Blocking the back is less bad. So if clipping is if you block in the back at the waist or lower, and block in the back at block in the back that's above the waist is block in the back. Illegal block above the waist. That's the block in the back. I don't know what a crackback block is. I've heard of it. I just don't remember what it is. But anyway, there's a lot of these rules, and this is just showing you the changes. And it's not always the changes. These are the years that they changed and had changes. I could clean it up and have it be just like, wow, we're only going to put the penalties in that actually changed or were added on any given year. But I think it'll just be easier to reference the penalties on a year, and I just grab it for the year rather than trying to figure out where a penalty existed, because then you got to remember. I don't want to. It's in the year. That's the one we're going to use, and we'll assume it's the same for any year in which we didn't actually change anything, right? So it's going to be 2002 and 2003 are going to be the same penalties. Anyway, I had to get all this stuff in there so that I can get the stuff loaded into the database. So I'm still prepping. I'm still finding I'm having to prep key parts in order to even run my kickoff, because I just never had special team stuff in, and of course the first play of the game is special teams, right? So I got to do that. Okay, can you update the system init simulator Where's it at? How come I can't see it? Store and backers, formations, game plans, game rules. Oh, store underscore game rules. System init store underscore game rules to include all the new files. And build the game rules collection. All of these files, challenge rules, seed.json, game rules, seed.json, kickoff rules, seed.json, and penalties, seed.json, all need to be added to the game rules collection. And check for and apply releases/additions whenever the system init service runs. Then I have to go drop my game rules. Okay, so I have it following, hopefully, the same processes. So, make sure you follow the same processes as other C similar coding. So anyway, now this is what I have to do. So I have some formations in, and oops, I guess I don't. Yeah, right. Let's put it over here. You can see the little one too. I have this page shared, but this is bigger. So I added in this special team. So I got offensive special teams and defensive special teams. So this is basically return formations, and this is kick formations, right? So if I click here, you can see I have this punt return. If I click on this, is puts it on here. So I got the punt returner. That's about right. I think he's roughly, what is it? 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah, 40 yards downfield. So that works pretty good. It's starting from here, actually. So it is pretty close. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's 50, almost 50-yard line. That's about right. So, and then this is a punt return formation. Now, there's not as many weirdnesses about a punt return. So you got all punt returns are punt returns, I think. But what I do have is a broken. I have this broken kickoff return here, and this is because I don't know why this is so broken, to be honest. So I was like looking at my kickoff formations, and there's something weird. So I was trying to rebuild it. So I've got to be able to run my system in it, and things got weird. So I have to actually have kickoff returns when formations change. So I need to have some kickoff returns that are valid for my game. So one of those, I don't even know why this is called deep. I think I actually changed it. It's not going to be deep anymore. It's just going to be called kickoff return 2024, which means I need a 2024 kickoff return formation, because I don't have one. So I think I'm going to have AI do this, because AI can actually look these up and build it, and it's actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do is have it update the kickoff return 2024 to a valid formation with a max lineup position Y of 24, because I think that's as big as I can get. I even think 23 is probably good enough. I like to have one little space in there if I can. So maybe I'll do it at 23. But it's doing something right now, so I can't really tell it to, hey, stop doing what you're doing. I got another thing for you. Now, there are the possibilities to run multiple agents. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't quite understood how to get like two things going at once. It would be interesting to do multiple things at once. I don't know how well it works doing that. And I'm not sure if, see, it does open up, build with agent, AI responses, maybe. Let's see what agent instruction says. Let's see what this says. I don't even know how this works. Oh, this is that one. Oh, I guess I could use Copilot. I was using the wrong thing though. So I go like this. All right. Let's go ahead and give myself a new Claude window. I have like 3 AIs going at once. Not all of them are working. Some of them I just ask questions. I am a bit. All right, let's talk. Let's go ahead and talk.
Hey, Kenneth. What's new?
Good evening. Hey, I'm trying to figure out how AI agents work. I mean, my question, my curiosity, is it just having like 2 windows open of the same thing and it's working on 2 things at once, or is it like functionally a different thing?
Absolutely. Here's my audio response.
What is your audio response?
I'm here to chat with you. What's on your mind today?
Can you tell me the difference between an agent and just having multiple chat windows open for AI?
An AI agent is designed to perform specific tasks, make decisions, or provide specialized support, while multiple chat windows simply offer different instances of general AI interaction, without the tailored focus or continuity of an agent. Essentially, an agent is like a dedicated assistant, whereas multiple chat windows are more like separate conversations with a general AI.
See, that's the thing. I don't have any idea how to use agents. I mean, I don't even know what agents are out there and what I would do with them. I mean, are there any that would be applicable to what I'm doing? I don't know. What is this doing? Why do I have 2 things going at once? What is this doing? I didn't ask you to do anything. What the heck are you doing? Now let me understand the data. What is it doing? Did I ask it to do something? What the heck? Is it just like going off on its own little... All right, I must have done something that told it to go do something. Something happened. What did I say here? Okay, this is the instruction. All right, no, I don't know what you're doing, but I didn't ask you to do that. No. I don't even know what that is. Go away, stop doing stuff. I don't remember telling you. So I told it, it said work with agents. And I'm like, what the heck is that? I don't want to break in my current instructions. What is this? Oh, it's my database. Hey, Karama, how you doing, man? How's your Monday? Getting lots of work done? How's school going? Are you still working? Can you work on something else? All right, here, it seems to be done. All right, so added new type definitions for the additional rule set. La, 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 la. All right, so we should have the ability now to run my system init. So let's go here. Let's go see how this goes. Let's first build it. Go build dot. All right, we're built. Let's do a go run. See what it does. Go run dot. Let's see if we get some new rules in my rules system. I was just trying to get kickoff rules in, and I went down the rabbit hole. I ended up building all of my rules in, so now I've got rules for like 20 years. With the help of AI, of course. But like penalty rules, kickoff rules, general gaming rules, the whole bit. So yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, so we got game rules. Let's see what we got here. So we should have a few documents. Yep, we got core rules, we got challenge rules, kickoff rules, and then there should be some penalties. These are penalty rules. These are all the different years at which they change. So when I go and like say we're going to play with the 2025 rules, we're going to have to get the latest or the correct year for each one. We'll have to go pull it, and those will be the rules that we're using for that particular season. So I just pick a year, and then it goes and has to logically generate which rules are we using for a particular season. So if you pick like 2011, we'll be getting like 2011, and then here we get the 2010, and then 2011. So basically, I'll have to have it calculate, and then whenever you create a year, whatever year you want to play your, like maybe you're trying to somehow rerun a season of your favorite teams or whatever. Now, it's tricky though, because I don't know how my system is going to be for allowing you to run the exact same teams for a particular year yet. See, here's the thing. When I have players for a season, like if I were to put in 2009 season players and you wanted to replay 2009, you're going to get their stats based on what they earned in 2009, and so you're going to get that level of play out of them. So the rookies will have stats, even though they technically didn't have stats, right? You theoretically, your rookie should have no skills, and then they have to earn those skills going in. See, that's the thing. I don't know yet how I'm going to create rookies, because I'm not sure I want to have system generated players. I want my game to be able to be built off of real player stats, and that means no system generated players. Now, that may change in time. Like maybe I'll allow like a person to generate their own, like maybe a special career mode kind of player sort of thing. But overall, everybody else is going to be based off of players that existed in the NFL. Now, granted, after the first season, all that stuff starts to change, right? That's just your starting point. But so if you want to play with particular players, you play with them from that year, and then they go wherever they go, because their skills could make them better, make them worse. Who knows what they'll be as the years go on. But neither here nor there right now. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get Claude here to do a new thing here for me. Can you update the FMT_ST006 formation to be a valid 2024 kick return formation. Note: max area allowed for a formation in my grid is 23. If there is more than one version of a 2024-25 kick return formation, 1 KR versus 2 KR imagine there are very many. But I do expect I will need legal donations for various kickoff rules that affect donations. Yeah, I need a valid year. All right, so that would allow me to let's see if it can create one for me. I don't know. Hopefully it can. Maybe I need a valid year value. And it will be assumed to be valid for every subsequent year until there is a new, until up to a new, up to the next valid year. Honestly, I'm not sure the best way to handle that, but now just some current information would be great. So if I was to take what I already have, I do have, like if I close this and go over to my formations here, you can see I have multiple kicks here. This is kind of backwards because my kicks, that one's like, oh wait, maybe it's not. That's an onside kick. Oh yeah, the onside kicker, the kicker is in front on the old onside kicks. Like current onside kicks, I don't even know how, I have no idea how current onside kicks work. Squib kick, this is everybody at the line, you just kick it. And you keep the ball on the ground and let it bounce around. That's what it's supposed for. Pre-modern, I don't even know what that is. I think that's basically the same thing as the squib kick. Yeah, it does. It looks like the same one. That's just a basic kickoff. Onside kick, hands team, field goal block, field goal punt. So really it's like some of these are just weird. And there are some changing rules. Like you can't have, I think mostly return teams are affected by most rules. Things are interesting when you're allowed to do wedge because that's when you have more variety of kickoff return formations. So there's points where you can't have 3, you can't have 2, and now you can't do wedges at all. They've blocked them out. So you can't do wedges for some years. So let's see if yeah, it's weird. I don't even know if it's going to have to find a valid 2024 kickoff. I couldn't find one. That's why I'm asking it to do it. Dynamic kickoff rule explainer. Allow fetching this URL. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I have no idea. I was looking at pictures. I could see pictures of how they're lined up. But see, here's the problem. I don't know what players to put in those positions. They're just standing there, right? It's still searching. Still trying to figure stuff out. My new Absolute Superman came today. There's an Aztec Batman. Clash of Empires. Aztec Batman. You know the one I want to get? There's another series out. And it's the Justice League is all like, they all live in medieval times, or like, or like, what do you call it? Like D&D fantasy. They're fantasy characters. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I kind of want that. It's an older series, already came out. It's not like current, but it ran for, I don't know, a couple of years. I don't know how good it was, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to read a fantasy version of the Justice League. All right, let's see what it does. All right, so we got a 2 deep, 1 deep. Well, they have a lot of blockers. It's kind of interesting. It's weird that they have wide receivers in the ST006B. Why doesn't it just call it like 8 or 9 or whatever heck? How many STs do I have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. So why don't I just change that to 12? Why would it go B? That's dumb. I know, it's just out of order, but I don't care. What else did it add? Did it add an onside kick? So I guess we don't have onside kicks are not different. I guess not. Or is it still working on them? Maybe it's still building stuff. Why do you keep changing it to 6B? Yeah. Hey, what do we got here? It's gonna do fake. I don't know. Why is it changing my fake field goal? Oh, we're going to. Oh, it's adding 13 and 14 and 15. Oh, what is it? Onside kick 2024 declared. Onside kick return. Huh. All right. So we got significant stuff going. Good deal. All right. Looks good. Let's go ahead and add them in. I'm gonna have a lot of formations. It's hard though because you got different rules. It's really kind of annoying, to be honest. Oof. Of what? Okay. Oh. Is 0 fine? Is 0 what I do for, oh, that's offense. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. False. False is defense. Maybe I need to clarify. Each grid spot. Each grid coordinate is 2.5 yards. So y1 is 2.5 yards from y2. Gotta let the what's that? 56 is I think any information does all more than that. Oops, is it over six? Oh, I'm sorry, it's almost 60 yards. What is 13? It's 46. It's 59 yards, I guess. My bad. Okay, so my placement grid is 24, 0 to 24 grid. On the Y axis. The x-axis is 13. The ball represents the ball is placed at the x0, x0, y0 coordinates of the formation, which would overlay onto the placement grid. Defensive formations, ST and non-ST. We'll have all positive Y. Because they are in the area where the ball will advance. Offensive formations are behind the ball, and thus Y values are mostly negative. The center / nose tackle are generally placed at the x0 x-axis location. With players to the right being positive and to the left negative. Again, each grid location, grid square, is a 2.5 by 2.5 yard square. The reason I want a max of 23 for the Y axis, this is 59 yards of space, right? 46, and half of 23 is what? 11 and a half? Okay, so it's not 59. It's 46 and 57.5, right? 11 and a half, yeah. This is 57 yards of space. And not 24 is that the defense is usually placed one grid space back from the ball, making the ball be at the 0 space in that scenario, in that formation. What do I do? Now I understand completely. The constraint is y-axis 23 because it's 57.5 yards, and defensive formation start at y1, one grid space from the ball. X-axis, negative 13 to plus 13, total of 27 grid positions, covering the width of the... No. Not quite. X is 13 wide. So that is 6 left, 6 right, with 0 in the middle. Right? Or did I do that wrong? Wait, let me go see. Maybe I did that wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. X is 19. My bad. 19. That is 0 in the middle. And how much is that 0? That would put 9. Plus 9 minus 9. Okay, so it says it created my formations. Let's see how we look. Let's see how we look after we load them. Yeah, I have no idea how this is gonna look, but we're about to find out. So let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and run this. And yeah, all we got for now. Let's run this puppy. Run system init, built some new data. Now it did put in all these guys. That's good. So we got that. We have some new formations. Let's go see how our formations loaded up. We'll go back here, give it a chance to reload them. Let's go see what defense looks like now. Okie dokie. Alright, so punt seems to be good, but something's weird. I'm only getting like... Alright, something's totally weird with my kicks. Boo. This kick return. Let's go see kick return. What did it do for kick return? Alright, so... You can see I have 2024 kicks. Okay, so that's what I'm putting in right now. 1 deep, 2 deep, and a kick and an onside kick, which is fine. I just want to have them in there. But for some reason, punt return fully displays, but kick return does not. So what is the problem? So we need to go see what a punt return looks like and why is it different. Onside kick, kick return. You know what? I'm going to take this guy. We definitely got some problems. So yeah, there's that. We're going to go down here and we got onside kick, can't seem squib, fake punt, fake field goal, kickoff team, kick return, onside kick. All right, so we're going to put this guy here. Onside kick return. And then we have a kick return 1 deep. What else we got? Onside kick. Kickoff return 2 deep and a punt return. So we'll take both of these. We'll take them down here. So all these are kind of broken. So I have to see what's going on here. All right, so I don't know if maybe we're not getting valid somethings on these. All right, let's see what the punt return is. So if I was to duplicate the punt stuff, I think it got confused somehow. So it didn't even put kick return at 20. 1 and 2 only went to 13. So there's something weird here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we definitely have a layout problem, but I don't know why. Because the punt return only goes to... The punt return only goes... So I got wide receiver 1 and 2 fit because they only go to 13, but they stop at that point. That don't even seem right. 13 is not the right spot. Okay, so let's go see what this punt return. So punt return's not showing everybody. What is that at? But when I click punt return on my grid, so it is putting it in. Like if I click on punt return, it puts the punt return in. It's there. It's 1, 2, 3. Huh. Am I wrong about how many there are per space? Uh-oh. That might be my problem. Let's go see what this does. See, that's not good. Okay, so it's showing these guys, but it shows the whole thing. Just that we're getting squished. Why are we squished? That's not even close to right. That's totally not right. But it did put the 2 kick returners in. So my kick returners are both there at 20. These guys are crazy far away. But why is that? I mean, that doesn't, why does that not show up? I mean, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If these are only 3 per, which would make it weird because now if I have 10, that makes them 3.3 yards a piece, which is not what I was trying for. So I'm confused. It's 24 grid spaces. And 24 grid spaces. Do I have it marked? Maybe I'm doing something weird. All right. So do I have a comment or something in here? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 2.5 yards. Because that's going to be a problem if it's not 2.5 yards. And this is not a full field, obviously. It's just meant to be a representation that allows me to put a full grid in there, a full formation in there. And that's 59 yards, which should be more than enough to fit them. But the question is, how come the punt is spreading out correctly? I think my grid here is weird. I think this grid is wrong. It's all about the Y positions. And the punts are fine. Oh, you know what it is? Well, for one, these players aren't supposed to be that far off the ball. I think you have the positions wrong. Oh, you know what it might be? Is that, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I think I know what the problem is. Okay, so I think the problem is the stupid modern kick rules. Where's the rest of his team? Okay, so I think the problem is these modern kick rules. So when you kick in the NFL now, the kicker lines up on his own 35, and he kicks the ball from the 35. But the offensive line and the defensive line, they're on the other 35. So what is that? That's 30 yards away, right? So 35, 15 again goes to 35. And I think that puts the defensive team on the 25. They're 50 yards away. That is the problem. Yeah, okay. I think I know. I think that's the thing. Now, I don't know why the kicker is lining up way over here. Okay, so I think I need to push. I think for a defensive special teams, I'm pushing it down, but I think I also need to push. Gosh darn it. Yeah, we got a stupid NFL has to go make things difficult. So my formations aren't landing because they're basing it off of where the ball is. Okay, so I think I need to change. Problem is that's where the ball is. I'm going to have to figure out where my new logic point is then, because if it's just the front line, and where are they? They're in relation to the ball, which makes sense during holy moly. Holy moly. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay, there's got to be, there's a solution here. For regular defensive plays, in relation to the ball is fine because everything is right there. You know, the ball is right there. But you're basically 40 yards down the field. It's actually 10 yards, so it's 40 yards down the field. So basically, I lose 40 yards, and then, so if I go to my defense here, you know what? I'm going to make this bigger so that we can use it, and I don't have to keep dragging this back over here. Yeah, maybe I do, because I can make it big like this. Or maybe I should just put it down here. There we go. What's that? And that'll make this thing bigger. So it comes down to the size of the actual window. I don't know. Let me know if it's a pain just to view. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Okay. Yeah, I'm stumped, man. There's gotta be a way here. Now this might actually be pretty accurate because the kick returners are in fact only about, let's see, they're going to be on the 4 or 5 yard line. So if we go from the 35 to the goal line, that's 65. That is a problem. I only have 57 yards. And normally, again, not an issue for normal kicks because everybody starts further up. I can always shorten the position of where the kick returners are, but it's trying to pin down the relative position of these defensive players. And if I just put them in, that's a valid kick return. Huh. Oh, they have to be within that zone, and that zone is 10 yards. Okay, so that is, all right. Hmm. Okay. I think I know what I need to do here. I get it now. I realized the problem. Modern kickoff rules 2024-25 have the defense and offense lining up (30 to 40 yards downfield), which downfield from the ball, which complicates the grid setup. So here is what I want to change. Add to all my formations two values. Effective year. No, for offense, for regular, for non, for formations that are not restricted by rule changes. So only for now, only kickoffs and kick returns also add a lineup position. Also add a lineup lineup yard line. For standard plays, this is the this will be scrimmage. Kicks. This will be the line team idea. treating that line as the scrimmage. So for a modern kick, return the lineup yard line would be 25. Oh, well, that's going to be tricky too, because I can't say 35 because the ball's kicked from the 35 and they line up on the 35, but they're different 35s. Stupid. I mean, how often does only on kickoffs is it so stupid that the team lines up in front of the ball. It's the only position where you line up in front of the ball on offense. In fact, everywhere else that'd be a penalty. On every single play in football, that would be a penalty. But no, on the kickoff, you're lining up 30 yards in front of the ball. What you think about it is pretty stupid. You're not even behind the ball. That's what do you think about it? That's a really dumb rule. But whatever. I can't help but think about that one as whose brilliant idea was that? I don't know. You gotta wonder. Where the heck is it? Holy moly, I'm creating a disaster. What's going on? Ah! Hold on, trying to fix my mess. I need a protein fix. Stressful, huh? Yeah, I get it. School's stressful. Even from the days when I was going to school, I found it stressful. It's because like you're trying to, your brain is constantly being tested, right? I mean, it's like it's all stuff that's new. Here's how I feel about learning in general. It's kind of like learning my lines on the plays that I've been doing. Like right now, I have some dialogues that are like, I want to say 30 lines long. I mean, there's easily 150 words. And when you're trying to learn something like programming or anything, right? You're taking in a lot of stuff. It's just like trying to take in all these words. And I have to memorize them. And just like you have to learn this programming stuff, right? So when you're first looking at it, the first time you look at this code or the first time you look at what you're trying to do, it just looks like gobbledygook, right? I mean, it's just like, how am I supposed to remember all this? How am I supposed to iron this out and figure it out? And it's like when I'm looking at this dialogue and I'll like come down like, oh, frickin' A, I have another one that's this long, and it's line. And it's like, okay, I just got to start. And here's how I look at it. It's like untangling a necklace. Have you ever had to untangle a really fine necklace, a long one, let's say a 20-inch or 30-inch necklace? And it's a mess. Somebody just piled it up one day and it got tossed around a little bit. And now it's just this knot of metal. And your girlfriend or your wife or your mother or somebody comes to you and goes, "Can you untangle this for me?" And you're like, "Sure." It's just this ball of mess. And that's what what learning's like. When you first look at it, it's this ball of mess. But you start fiddling, you start looking at it, you start taking pieces of it, and you start breaking it down, and you go over and over and over, and your brain starts to connect some synapses and starts to untangle things, and things just start to kind of stick and hold. And as I'm doing that with my memorizations, I'm like going through and I just keep reading these lines over and over and over again and closing my eyes and trying to read them. And I get 2 words in out of 10 and I'm like, oh, freak. And I open my eyes again. I'm like, oh, now I got to do it again. And I just keep, and it's like you're just pushing it and hitting it and trying to make it go an extra inch, an extra 2. And each time you just get 1 or 2 or 3 more words in. And every now and then you'll get 3 or 4 more words. And it kind of like little chunks of that necklace are kind of coming out, and it's starting to unwind just a little bit at a time, and you're starting to see some progress. Things are sticking. You're starting to understand a little bit how this flow of code works, or memorize the first few lines or phrases. And now, yeah, go ahead, Karama. And eventually it untangles. It untangles. Like right now, I've got, I don't know how many lines of code or lines of my play memorized that when I started, I was looking at going, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I've got it to the point where I've pretty much memorized all my lines. But I haven't got it down to the point where it's reflexive yet. So I can go through and start and kind of go through and punch through, but I can't just like, I can remember it, but I have to keep doing it over and over again to get smooth at it and just be able to like respond like it's reflex. But I'm getting there. I have a lot. It's crazy how many lines I have for a guy who's not even the main character in this play. I've just got, I'm a crucial character, but I'm not like a main character. Honestly, I think I have more long dialogues than anybody in the play. I mean, I've got big chunks, and I don't think anybody has as many dialogues as I do. And it's really, I wanted a challenge, but boy, I am being challenged. I'm glad I've got 2.5 more months to really get it down. But yeah, ask away, man. So yeah, let's see if I can get this. Geez, I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to designate the 35 from the 35. Normally I do yards to go. But now it's weird. What I mean by that is yards to go for most scrimmage or for every indicator just means how far that team has to go to get to the end zone. It allows me to make sure that I'm always on the right side of the field. Heck no, I've never, this is the first video game I've ever did. In fact, for the first 20 some years of my programming experience, I was afraid of games. I basically said, no, I can't do it. I did. I said, I can't do it. I don't know graphics. I can't do art. I'm not an artist. I don't know graphics. Yeah, I used to be able to sketch pretty good, but that doesn't make you an artist. It just makes you sketchable. I mean, I was able to sketch some stuff pretty nice, but in no way was I an artist. Certainly not, in that creative vein. I was very good at creating logic, so it was work good. I had a brain for business programming, and that's what I did. I did a lot of complicated logic for making like these apps do cool things based on the back end. And that's a lot of what I'm doing here. I've picked a thing that lets me do a lot of cool back end programming logic stuff, and the graphic stuff I'm just forcing down my own throat. But no, what got me into programming, I'm self-taught, and the way I did it was I wanted to start my own business back in a long time ago. Without dating myself too much. I wanted to start my own business, and I needed a database. So I started playing with a database just to try to get it to hold my stuff. And then, of course, getting a business going was pretty hard. So I went, but I was learning how to do this database. I did some programming to get some data in there, and I was fiddling with trying to create myself a data input screen. And I kind of just got some basic stuff going. But I needed to get some money. I needed money. I'm just looking at the rest of your question. So I needed some money, and I went and I went to a consulting company, and they got me a job with Ball Corporation. They're the company who makes jars. So if you see all those jars that say Ball on them, that's where I was. And they said, we need some data input, basic boring stuff, right? They just had some stuff they wanted to put in a database. I'm like, this is boring, but at least I'll get paid. So I went in to do it. It was only supposed to be a couple weeks long. Showed up for the interview, and they go, yeah, we need you. We have all this stuff that needs to be put in the database. And they go, can you create the database for us? I'm like, what? They go, yeah, can you create the database for us and put this data in it? I'm like, that's not data input. That's database programming. But I didn't say that. But I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And because I had a solid 2 or 3 months of playing with the database at home. Sure, I can do this. And surprisingly enough, it wasn't overly complicated. So I created this UI, or this little database screen, input screen, and created the normalization for the tables. And I did some looking up. Back then, of course, we didn't have AI, so I'm just doing some internet searches and looking through the access books and just looking through all these things and figuring out what I need to. But I worked it out, got the thing done, got the stuff put in. That was my first programming stuff. So then I took that 1 month job and turned it into an actual access programming job with another company. But see, I was doing this when all this stuff was like, we didn't have AI to compete against. Businesses actually hired people based on their interview skills, not on their years of programming experience. Like right now, back then, you could get people to talk to you if you just had a good resume. You could have a good resume that said, look, I've got this many years, but I can do this, I can do that. I'm self-taught. I know how to, take this on and learn these things. And people would call you on that kind of resume. Nowadays, they won't even call you on that kind of resume. You can't simply just say, I've got the ability to learn. They don't hire people with the ability to learn. They hire people who pass their tests, and they make you go do these weird programming random task tests that you don't even do in the job. It's stupid. And I never did good at those tests. Never did. But, I had a job for a long time, and I was very good at it. I was, I got raise after raise after raise and good reviews, and they were always telling me how impressed they were with the work I was getting done and stuff I was accomplishing. I created this really complicated, I won't say complicated, let's say complex application that did a lot of cool things that to this day they're still using the app 2 years after I left the company because they can't find an app that does everything that the app I gave them does. So they're still trying to figure out how to replace it because they feel like it's dated. I wanted to update it and upgrade it to a new version, but they said, oh yeah, we're going to replace it one of these days. Well, eventually they're going to have to because it's going to get so dated it ain't going to work with their stuff. But another issue. But did I think their time would come? Yes, I was worried that my skills are going to get obsolete because I was at a company for 14 years and we didn't update anything. I mean, I would update stuff as versions of stuff, but we would move on to new. For me, I didn't study that much. I mean, I studied to get jobs done, to get tasks done. If I wanted to accomplish something, like when I did my job at the job I got hired at, they hired me because I was certified in Access, or one of the reasons at my last job, and they didn't even. I did Access for like 6 months, and but they said, I told them, this Access application, I got it to work for them, but I was like, it's hit its limit. What's the plan here? You guys are trying to put too much into this database. And they go, well, we want to eventually go to Access or SQL or whatever. And I go, well, look, you mind if I try to do a prototype on doing it in SQL? And I created so that was what I did. I went and researched and bounced around, I went to Stack Overflow back in the day. That was what everybody was using, Stack Overflow and Google and whatever. And I figured out how to kind of get some of the stuff to work in SQL and keep all the functionality. And I just kept adding. And then I said, all right, I got this prototype. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. How long would it take you to get it fully, ready to bring all our reports in? I think at the time we had like 480 reports. A lot of them were messed up, and they had to clean those up. But I told him it's going to take about a year. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, but to get it fully functional, he says, all right, can you do it under the radar? Can you just start working on it and, give me updates? I said, sure. So I started working. I actually guessed pretty well. I think it actually took me like 14 or 15 months to get it done. But that was my motivation, to get it done. Because my motivation for all of the things I do, for programming anyway, for pretty much anything, I like creating. I like creating the logic and seeing a task and making it happen, making the code shape that object. And I'm very good, I believe I'm very good at breaking it down into small pieces and not getting caught up in the minutia of the giant thing. Or the minutia? No, not minutia. Minutia is the little stuff. The momentum, the massiveness of the big picture. See, here's the thing. A lot of people who want to do games, and you're going to find when you go to YouTube and you look up some devs who are talking to you, if you want to develop your own game, this is what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. If you've never done games before. And they tell you, don't do a big game. Don't plan something big. Do little stuff. Get little stuff done and, feel successes in the little stuff. And then you can grow and get bigger and do bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's a good logic if you're not able to find joy in the little successes. Being happy with the little things you've accomplished. See, I've taken this app, which is massive, by the way. I feel like it's massive for one person. It's grown to like 13 or 14 microservices, all with their own, 100 and 200, 300 lines of code. Probably, no, more than that. I think they'll have like 1,000 lines of code. I've probably got 300,000-400,000 lines of code building. I have to do another summary on my thing. I have a tool that'll go read how many lines I've got. I don't know what is CV course to your cover to your resume. I don't know what they're teaching in school. Okay, I don't know how they're teaching right now. But honestly, I hope they're teaching you how to program in the era of AI. Because if they're teaching you how to be a programmer as though AI doesn't exist, you're going to struggle to find your place. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean or a downer. But AI is going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be a tool. It's going to get better and more efficient. it's never going to be, I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we're in no danger. AI is not, or at least not anytime soon. The world of AI taking over the world or doing something crazy, it's just not that smart. There's not enough power. First of all, it sounds like, the smarter these things get, the more and more power they need. And they need like, cities worth of power. Yeah. Okay. So you have one advantage that I didn't have. A lot of jobs now want you to have a degree. And so that kind of hurts me because I don't have a degree. And they don't look at my resume. They look at, they want you to have a business degree. They say business degree or equivalent experience. Well, I have the experience generally. So, but they're not, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know the magic trick to get a job these days because I've been out of work for 2 years. Now, granted, and it's not just that, not 2 years, a year and a half. But I can't even get companies to call me. I can't even get an interview. I can't even get them to call me and talk about an interview. I can't even get them to email me and say, hey, saw your resume. You want to talk? Nope. I don't even get that. I've tried everything. So I can't be, all I can do is tell you what I know I'm capable of, what I think other people should be capable of, but how to sell yourself, I couldn't tell you. If having more or less, I mean, having a degree on your resume will be a bump because that's another thing you'll have that, some people don't. And when you're coming out of the gate, so for me, it's a problem now because I'm an experienced developer. So they expect more from an experienced developer, even though I have been applying for like entry-level jobs and I still can't get people to call me. Even though I have, 20 plus years of experience, I still can't get them to call me. So I don't know. I don't know the rules. But I'm not worried about it because I think the Lord's got a plan. And maybe I'm not getting calls because he wants me to do something else. He wants me to get this game going. He wants me to get out there and learn stuff on my own and just do my own thing. I don't know. I don't know what he wants, but he's got a plan and I'm not worried about it. But that's easy for someone to say who's got resources. At least I don't have a lot, but we have enough that we're able to inch by while I do this. I know my wife's getting a little jittery, and I keep telling her just have faith. We're gonna get there, but I don't know. I don't know when this is gonna release. Like each day I'm working on this, and I discover a new thing I have to get done before I can do the next thing I wanted to do. Like trying to get just a kickoff play that works before I can even go call up my simulator. I need to have a play that I can pass into my system to be able to load people into the game. So yeah, there's all kinds of little weird stuff. But it never hurts to have more on your resume. But here's the thing. I don't think most people go to college. I mean, I don't know this for sure because I've never had a college resume. But I think the trick is the thing you want to get most out of your college time are projects. Get tasks and work done and put those on your resume. I led a team of six students doing X, Y, and Z. We practiced the agile methodologies. We worked with AI agents. Get those kind of things in there. We learned program flow for these things. We created this project using these kind of services. And, the more keywords you can get in there in the form of actual work done during your college time is almost more important than just saying, I took a programming class in React and advanced programming class in React or C# or Angular or whatever it is you're doing. And, just throwing a bunch of keywords down on the resume, it's not going to have the same weight as actually having done stuff, create stuff, do stuff. I think that carries more weight. But again, been out of work for 18 months. So I may not be the best person to ask because I may not know the answer because I have done stuff. I have created stuff. Problem is, I've created stuff in languages and tools that are dated. I mean, C# is still around, but it's a different version now. And the stuff I was doing was all framework, and they don't do framework anymore. A lot of it's web tech, and you know, I don't know. There's a magic bullet out there, man. But you know, my biggest concern for the programming industry is there's just too many of us. Because of AI, it's not that AI is eliminating the need for programmers. It is not. But it's eliminating the need for as many as we have. So what's going to happen at some point is because AI can do the small stuff now. And see, this is where things get difficult for new people to come out of school and whatever, because they're new people, right? And they're coming in with their fresh knowledge, their basic programming skills, and whatever languages they learned. But AI can do all of the basic stuff. And this is why I think schools and teachers need to teach students not necessarily the syntax of every language anymore, because AI takes away the need to know syntax. You just need to understand syntax. It's different. Being able to look at yeah, see, that's it. You need to learn to understand what you're looking at, but you don't need to understand, you don't need to be able to create what you're looking at. You understand? You see what I'm saying? It's like this, okay? I could do this now because I've learned how to do JSON in the last year considerably. It's just really just a formatted text. But I didn't know JSON and all of its limitations or things you can do with it. But when you first look at this, you know, a person who doesn't know how programming is just looking at, wow, what is all this weird numbers? And you know, I can look at this, and you might be able to too, because it's not overly complicated. But you know, I've got this is basically the equivalent of a database a file. And this would be like a record in a database. Okay, so I got the ID, and then I've got my values, and then this is a subarray because this is a document, and they allow you to have a subarray. So, but I can read this and understand what I'm looking at. You know, I know what this is supposed to be, what's trying to happen here, and the same goes for like, I could not write. I don't think if somebody told me right now, go write me a Go function. I've been doing this for a year now. I don't know for sure that I could write a Go function without looking it up. I'd have to go look up the format. But I know I can read this stuff. I know what's happening here. We're instantiating this, you know, we're in the store object, we're referencing our store object, calling this function that does this. And then it's, you know, we're checking for an error after we read the file from the database. It's using my JSON file. You know, this is just the ability to read this stuff and know what's going on. This is a for each loop. I would not have known how to do a for each loop in Go. Somebody said, write a for each loop in Go. I go, I don't know. But I can look at this. I know what the word for means. And I also know that this is the, you know, I know what a range is. So I can say, okay, well, this is the range of objects we're looking at, and we're passing them through the loop, and then we're processing this game plan situation. We're appending them all together into the situations. The situations are my game plans. But again, I can read this code. I couldn't write this code. And there is a distinct difference. But I could read this code if it was written in a language I haven't seen. I would be able to open up, what's a language I don't know? Angular. I could open up Angular, look at the code, and figure out what it's doing by, you know, reading through it. And if I didn't know what something was, there's AI. You can go, hey, look, AI, I don't know what this function does. Tell me what its purpose. And it'll tell you. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, it's trying to do the, the light bulbs come on and you can keep going. But that's what they need to teach you in school. You need to learn how to read code regardless of the syntax, understand what it's trying to accomplish, learn to use the tools that help you to get to that point, so that when you're using AI to write that basic code, you can go in and go, okay, we need to, straighten this out. Ask questions of AI. I do this all the time, where I look at it, say, okay, I created these two store functions, and we have multiple, this is probably a terrible function to be using for this. Oh no, simulation's not bad. So we have initialize, so we know what's going on. This is actually just pulling my game rules into the app. Initialize. Stores usually have some get methods, but with game rules, I don't use get methods as much. But let's see. What do I look at? Oh, this is user account. Oh, that's why I'm looking at the wrong thing. I thought I was looking at, oh, this is my seed data. Yeah, that's a terrible one to look at. A totally different format from everything else. Let's see, blah, 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 system init. Don't need that. This is a standard service. I want to pick a standard service. All right, so store. So we got get play counter. Oops. No, cancel. Go away. All right, so this is my store, which is the store is the database. Going to go get stuff. And if I asked AI right now to write me a service without giving it any context for it to go through my gateway, using the gRPC handlers, and if I just said create a service that can go through my gateway and have it have a get function for the get function for my Mongo database that gets, I don't know, formations or something, and that's all I gave it is basic context, it would create a service. And it would probably plug in a lot of these things and do the one function I asked for and probably be okay. But it would be completely different. It would not be consistent. And then if I went and asked it to do another service that did something similar without giving it any context, it would be completely different from the one that it created before. Maybe similar to the one you did to that, if you're using different versions of AI, all those things. But as you get better at programming, you realize, look, this has to be readable by a human, and even by AI. If your code is consistent, your AI will be better at figuring out what it is you're trying to do. Even if these you may have three services that do things three different ways because AI wrote them. AI is going to be like, okay, you did this here, and then you did this here, and then it's like, it's different. So the more complex the app gets, and businesses, they work with complex apps. I'm telling you, get good at complex apps. Vibe coding is terrible. It's terrible. You can't do vibe coding on complex apps. You can maybe vibe code a function or a small pieces, but then you're going to have to go through and make sure everything ties together. You can't truly vibe code. Most businesses are probably not able to do vibe coding well. And anybody who says they created a complex app with vibe coding is lying to you. I'm telling you, they're lying to you. They did not. True vibe coding means basically they don't know how to code, but no programmer is vibe coding anything that's complex. And no non-programmer can vibe code anything complex. If you go to you see some expert YouTube guy and he says, oh, I'm going to vibe code this application. And he goes on there and he throws in a command. It's all complex and it whips up this thing. For one, that's not complex. If you write a page of documentation, I don't care if it's this long of a page, if you write 10 pages or 50 pages or 100 pages of document and give it to AI, it's not, I'm telling you, man, it's not going to work. And even so, it's still not a complex app. This app right here, all the stuff I've done would be like 500 pages of code, or 500 pages of me trying to give a command to AI. I don't think you can even write a document that complex. Yeah, no, honestly, I don't know. I mean, if you want to be a game developer, that's great. But I don't think game development, especially, I mean, unless you are, game development is a whole nother thing. I think you have to be graphically inclined, unless you're, especially for other companies. If you're going to work for another company, um, I don't know how easy it'd even be to get into a job programming games where you don't know how to do graphics. I think that would be really hard. Business is the only place, but business pays better. Business, as in businesses that do business, not games. Uh, there's more. I think they pay better. There's more work, and there's probably more money in it. Unless you're like a top flight game developer. I mean, games at the AAA studios make a bunch of money, but a lot of AAA studios nowadays are closing down or reducing their work staff. Like I said, I think there's too many developers. I think there's tens of thousands of developers in the world right now that looking for work. The competition is massive because companies are reducing their developer. AAA studios don't need 300 developers anymore. They just don't need them because 150 of those developers are doing work that AI can do now because it's not that in depth, and those other 150, if they keep them, can handle the AI work. They can spread out the tasks and commands and learn to manage and control. And if you get good enough at being able to control AI and manage the code and keep things clean and organized, learn to develop good code with AI, I think that's going to be a bigger thing. But the problem is, I don't think the industry has learned that yet. So I don't think companies know what they're looking for with people. They think they're still looking for, they want AI people, but because AI exists, they want people who have super complex programming skills. Oh yeah, we don't need the basics anymore. We got AI. We only need people who are advanced in programming. Now, that's not exactly what you need because you don't even really need advanced skill syntax programmers anymore. You need advanced skilled, let's say a software analyst. I think that's kind of to me, that's the job title of the future. You might be a designer, software developer, or not developer, but a software analyst and a software designer. Those are the things that I think, even software architect. These are the types of titles that I think people are going to need to be in the future. Yeah, game programming is not great unless you're like one of their best and you're working for a really good studio, I'd imagine. But there just aren't that many jobs. And if you're working for a small AA studio, AA or a really small company just cranking out little games, they're not going to pay you that well. They might pay you okay, but you're not going to get paid mega unless you manage to partner up with the guy and he splits with a mega. You have a hit on your hands and it becomes you make a lot of money off it. But like if I was to hire somebody, I couldn't pay them well. I mean, assuming I had money to get my business going a little bit and I could hire people, I'm going to hire people who can do tasks for me, but I'm not going to be able to hire like a $250,000 a year developer. Forget that. I go on Fiverr and tell a guy I need you to develop me some animations, but I think it's just a tough world right now. Development is fun, but I think for developers at this stage, at this time of the world with AI, I think you have to be willing to work for yourself. I think there's a lot of work for independence now, a lot of opportunity, a lot. You have now with AI, you have the tools to work independently now and create your own stuff. Get an idea, go make it, and learn enough code that you could understand, fix, and push code along even when AI can't figure it out. I've run into too many times trying to fix or get a problem going that AI could not get it right, could not work it out, could not fix it. And if I didn't know how to code, that would have been a blocker. I would not have been able to proceed. But I could go in, so what I was able to do is once I go down that rabbit hole, AI can't figure it out. I go into the code, look at it, figure out what it's doing, untie the knot, and move on to the next thing. I fix it myself. I need to get better at knowing when to pull the plug and swap that switch in my head. Okay, so there is a switch, and everybody's got to learn how to flip that switch in their head. That switch is the one that says you need to go from dev lead telling the AI what to do to developer, designer, where you just say, all right, take a break, AI, I'm going to go do this myself. You have to know when to make that switch. At what point do you stop trying to use AI? You've got to, get off that. It's kind of like if you were a team lead, your job, the management gives you a job, says, hey, you need to get this done. You have 10 developers. And you're walking around the room helping these, giving these developers tasks. And one of them can't figure it out. And you look at the code or you see what's going on, you give him some suggestions, and he goes and tries something. And you say, no, try this. And they go and try this. And you give them some more tasks. They can't figure it out. At some point, you have to know when to just here, let me take a look, and get in there and do it yourself. And because that's how it goes. You're basically working with a developer that has an eidetic memory. That's what it is. All these AIs are developers with eidetic memories. They remember the books, the texts, all the details of how to code, but they don't understand the ultimate goal, the big picture, and they don't understand yet why the code isn't working. What is it that needs to happen? They'll take some guesses. Oh, based on my knowledge, this should be it, or that should be it. And it'll keep telling you, oh, it needs to be this, or it needs to be that. AI talks very confidently. Oh, the problem was this, and the problem was that. And then it doesn't work. And it says, oh, that's why I didn't look at this. It's because it's this. And it'll just go around. And eventually you're like, you already had that. You already did that. You need to go, okay, learn to flip that switch, jump in the code. And for new developers, that's going to be really hard to learn how to say, because AI is going to go, zzz, it's like this, it's fly, smack. And then it can't go any farther. And you're going to have to realize that it can't progress on to the next thing until you go in there yourself and work this problem out and get it out of the way so the AI can go, it's kind of like, what do they call it? Hurry up and slow down kind of thing. You're like, AI is like 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So it's super quick, and then you got to spend some time on it. And then it's super quick, and then you got to spend some time on it. And then it's super quick. So there's a lot of times when I'll advance really fast on a task. Like I'll say, I need to generate this page. It does this, and this, use this, and this. AI will go, it'll write 400 lines of code, and 350 of those lines of code will be fine. And it'll get them done in a pace that which it would take me a week to get all those lines of code in place correctly, right? Because it's, 400 lines of code. It takes a long time to type that and to get it all written out. But it takes AI 5 minutes. But there will be some problems in there, and that's where you'll be spending the next, few hours or day to fix. And so you're fixing those things, but it's still way faster than it would have taken. I don't think I could have typed, even if I was a genius developer who knew everything there was to know about Go and C# and all these tools I'm using. If I knew every line, every function and syntax in the world, I don't think I could have typed out as many lines of code as AI has written for me here. I could not have done it. I'd be like, did you ever see that Jim Carrey movie? What is it? Where he plays God, or where he's God. God comes down and gives him his power. What was that called? Oh, no, it's not Oh God. That was George Burns. I don't know. But anyway, where he's sitting there on the keyboard, he's trying to keep up with all the emails or all of the prayers, and he just, his hands are just 9,000 bajillion miles an hour, and he's zipping through everything. I don't even know what kind of computer can keep up with that kind of typing, but that's basically what I would have to be in order to have typed all the stuff that AI has typed. So it's a different world of programming, a different way of programming. And people need to stop looking down on AI, but they also need to stop giving it more credit than it deserves, because it's just not. All right. Yeah, I don't think video game programming is paid well anywhere, unless you're, like I said, a top tier game programmer working for. I don't even know that they pay well anywhere. EA is got a lot of great developers. At least that's my opinion, because they make the graphics are amazing. People don't like their game because they complain about other stuff. But anybody who tells you that Madden football is not awesome in appearance has a bar that's like over here. It's like people who think AI is going to take over the world are the people who think that Madden isn't awesome. Appearance, it's got some problems, I've been told, but in appearance, if you think you're anywhere near that, any developer who says that Madden is it's not cool graphically doesn't know what they're talking about. Oh, this thing the snow doesn't look like it's melting on their clothes. Oh, the snow doesn't have enough of this or that. You don't know how complex all that crap coding is to do all that. I just to get snow falling on a field is amazing, much less make it look real. It's so much work. And don't get me going. Don't get me going. Doggone it, Crummy, you got me going. But again, you're right. I don't think there's not a lot of high-paying jobs in the game industry. Honestly, like I said, I think the number of jobs for developers is going down, and I think it's worldwide. It's just AI is taking jobs. It's not going to eliminate the need. It's just eliminating the number. Understand what I'm saying? Instead of there being hundreds of thousands of developers out there gamefully employed, now there's a fraction of that, because it's just don't need them, sadly. But there is a lot of opportunity if you like creating applications. You've got ideas overflowing in your head for new things to create. Then I think maybe development might be for you, because now you can go create your stuff and go make money on your own. Make it better. Make that thing that somebody else isn't making and do it right. Do it your way. You got AI now. You've got the tools. You can program in any language you want as long as you understand it. And that's what you're going to school for. Make sure that your teachers are teaching you to work with today's technology in a way that sets you up for success, be it with a company or, if you want, on your own. I don't know. I just don't know how teachers are doing it now. But if they're doing it the way they were doing it 5 years ago, they're not teaching you right. 5 years ago is the old way. AI was around, but not like now. I mean, it's big time now. Alexa, turn off Firestorm. I see scrimmage for kicks. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna simplify. I think I'm overcomplicating this. What is the problem? Modern here. All formations should function as though should be set up as though the players in front are on the line of scrimmage. Regardless of where the ball is. Thus, kick return frontline players first. Y grip position is always 1. And all other positions are in relation to that. Same goes for offensive special teams. Players in front are always at my position 0. No matter the ball location. And the other players further back are at negative height positions. There we go. I think that's the best way to do it. This should make for plenty of room to position all players within the grid. Let's see how that works. this should significantly correct my my problem. So says me. I'm pretty sure I should have a much better. So it's fixing all of my my formations. Hopefully, we will have a much prettier state of being here in a minute. I won't have these weird formation values. But it has a lot to correct. I notice even just looking at what it's doing, it's changing the numbers by a lot. I'm still a little worried about this too deep. No, that actually might be okay because they're on the 25-yard line now. So that actually might be okay. Because there's only going to be 25 yards between the front guys and the guys in back. It's not very much. Now the offensive side of the ball might go a little further. Punt return is going to be pretty long. Kick return, onside kick team. They have a little bit further, it looks like. Negative 15. That seems like an awful lot. Negative 15? Or have we not fixed that one? Oh, there it is. It's fixed now. Kicker is ahead. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, we're looking way better. Things are looking a little sharper now. All right, so it did some updates. Let's go see how that fixes things. All right, we rebuilt the database. We'll go back here. Go here. Defense. ST. Aha, look at that. Look at that prettiness. Everybody fits. All the stuff goes on the page. Still kind of off-center, but I'm okay with that for now. Let's go look at offense, though, huh? Let's go see what offense looks like. Offense, that's an onside kick. All right, that's good. I don't know, where the heck is the kicker on this one, though? Oh, he's in the middle. Oh, that's actually okay. He was there. He's sitting right there. Pre-modern, whatever that means. I guess that's anything that used to allow for variation. Onside kick hands team. I don't know what the onside kick hands team is. That's kind of weird. Onside kick team 2024 declared. Again, very weird. Where's the kicker on this one? All right, so the kicker's not showing up right. Oops. But we are getting better. Oh, dang, Narbits. Stop it. That's one of the drawbacks to this setup. Oh, I got some cool ideas. I was watching a YouTube that was showing you how to do terrain and trees. It's the first time I actually saw that. Every game I've ever seen that shows you how to, that talks about graphics and they're saying, oh, do this little thing for this little feature and that. It's like, and I'm looking at their massive, their area and I'm like, how does that even work? How do they do that? And I saw a video that actually showed you how they're putting trees down and paths and this thing. This looks pretty cool. And then my brain started triggering. I'm like, you know what? My whole screen, my whole homepage here, I'm thinking of building this. Because I don't really want some of these are cool buildings, but I don't necessarily need them to look exactly like this. But I'm thinking like building this trees surrounding area kind of stuff. And then trying to see if I can create my own building, find some assets that are like just building assets and start and build my scene as it is. So it's actual objects on the field or on the scene. And then I can drop like the stadiums I've been creating. You saw my stadium I created, right? I have a stadium. It's not beautiful, but it's it's actually kind of cool. I'm working on getting more on there. I got to start getting, you know, banners and stuff in there. But I've got a 3D stadium now with the field in the middle. And I was thinking I can drop that like right here in the. I didn't even realize my mouse doesn't show up on that. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So I was gonna like put my actual field I created in a spot like this. Then I can create like an asset where I have like a, I don't know, I'll find assets that are buildings of some kind, start dropping them in there. Then I don't have to have a dependency on, you know, this AI art. I can literally build my own scenery. At least that's the delusion in my head. I don't know how I do something like this tree hanging over the front because that would be weird. I'd have to have some giant tree that overflows. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know how. I might be asking too much for that, but still doing stuff where I'm building these little trees because there's different tree assets out there that you can put out. I don't know. I have this illusion I can just create my own scenery here. And that would be awesome. Now, I can only do it in Unity because obviously this is React and you don't have Unity in React, but still, it's got potential. Okay, so I think, okay, so field goal block is not an offensive formation. Where's field goal block? I need to go over here and fix that. Block. There is field goal block. This is a defensive formation. Yeah. False. Okay, field goal, onside kick, hands team, onside kick, fake punt. I think that one's just not fixed. Where is onside kick 2020? Kick return? Oh, that's onside kick return. Kick return, kick return, kick. Onside kick. That doesn't need to be called team anything. I don't know why it has to be onside kick declared. Why would I change that to false? Aren't they all declared? I mean, they do have to be declared, but I think they all have to be declared. I think that's all onside kicks have to be declared. I don't know why you would have the word declared. Onside kick return, I mean. All right, so what is the problem here? Okay, if the kicker is the furthest forward on offensive special teams, then he could be at Y0. The other players could be behind him. Offense players should never have y values greater than 0 in a formation. This will fix some of these. So yeah, this will. All right, I'm gonna let you do this. Let's go ahead and give you full power. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:11. Darn narblets. I've kind of got a formations. I think I'm getting this. I'm just gonna start with 2024. I do need to get some other formations made for other years, but for now, 2024, 25 fields will be fine. Then I got to go on and set up basically what they do, which is very basic stuff. You know, run down, get the kicker. Run down, get the return guy. That's all. I don't even know. I mean, you could probably mix and match, have players kind of shift and throw stuff at them, you know, just to try to confuse the blocking a little bit. And maybe I'll create some of those, because I think it's all legal. I mean, where you run is up to you, but I think it's about trying to throw off the blocking, but you also need to be able to, you know, cover the areas, so you can't maneuver too much. But let's see how that does. Well, it didn't really fix. Why didn't it fix my onside kick? Policy information. Please compare your version with the file contents or overwrite the content of the file with your changes. I have one choice, compare. How do I not do that? Kickoff. Oh, is this the one I want? Kick 0, 0. Right, so yeah, that's the one I want. And okay. Can I like not take this one? Nope. All right, so it fixed that one. Let's see what we got. What does this say here? Use the actions. How do I undo? Oh. There we go. There we go. All fixed. Let's go here. Run it again. I'm supposed to go run tomorrow. Big run tomorrow. I don't know if I need to do. Let's see what I do last week. I think I ran 11 last week. So when is Thanksgiving? Is that next week? It is. So I've been traditionally trying to run a half marathon every Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, I get up in the morning, go run a half marathon. It's not an official thing. I just run around my neighborhood for 13 point whatever miles. It's 13 miles, but you know, give or take. Usually it's not many take, but it's like 13.1, 0.2, point something, you know. It's because it all depends on where I run. If I accidentally add too much to it or whatever. I don't usually get too far over Like I'm pretty good at, I know my neighborhood. I can run all kinds of directions and figure out how to get back and within pretty close to what I want. But I've been trying to pick up speed, so I got to go out and run and maybe get some faster runs in, but we'll see. So I wanted to, with next week being Thanksgiving, that means that's when my run is. I don't want to overdo it this week. But, man, I would love to run a 13, but I don't know. That might be too much this close. You got to give you got to give yourself a chance to kind of recover. I probably still want to run like next week too, one day before like go run a 5 or 6 early in the week, because you know. All right, did I run this? I don't even know if I ran this. Get ahead of myself. All right, now we can do this. All right, so let's go back to plays. Quick play editor. Offense ST. All right, so we got the kicker on the field. Everybody, all the kickers are showing up. Onside kick hands team is a thing I think I need to just get rid of. I don't know what this kickoff pre-modern thing is, but it's just, what the heck is a kickoff pre-modern? That's just like the olden days. Oh, that was regular kickoff. Yeah, and that's probably about right, because they basically all lined up on the line and then just went. All right, so let's go look at my defense quick. I finally have defensive formations. That means I can start prepping my actual play. Yay! Kick return, field goal block. That's all I got. All right, 2024. That's fine. 1 deep, 2 deep. Perfect. Perfect. Everybody has to line up in this 10-yard range. Yeah, we're looking good. All right. I don't know what this is. I probably should go look. What the heck is that? Request. What is this error? I don't know what it's complaining about. What is this thing? It's loading correctly, so I don't know what it's complaining about. I'll debug that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I can now load like a 2 deep defensive play, and I can create something. Like if I click on this guy, basically, you know, they're all these guys. Their job is simply to block, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the rule is for blocking. Do players just stand and try to block and then they just get in the way of somebody? There's not a lot of room, but it's kind of interesting how blocking works, right? When you got guys running at you, your goal is just to block somebody. But how much yards is that? That's 25. So it's only 25 yards between them and the next and the kick returners. Probably not as many blocking the backs, you would think, because they're so far back already. But ultimately, you try to block. If you fail to block, you have to run back and try to find the ball carrier and block, try to get in the way of people. And then I got to figure out if somebody actually, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I want to be able to implement things like blocking the back and stuff like that, you know, give people a chance to be dumb. But I don't know. That might be overcomplicating the logic, but we'll see. All right, so let's just put these guys on here. We're going to click on him. We're just going to say block. We're just going to go through here and just say all these guys block. Because I don't know. Simple stuff. Straight blocks, and then we're going to click on these guys, and I guess I'll just have him do a receive, because that's what they're going to do. And then I guess I can Guess we'll just have him run. Oops. Why didn't my line draw? Why didn't my line draw? Where's my line? It's not line drawing. Whoa. Okay, I got some bugs. It's not supposed to do that. No. The world's melting down. Oh, well, I got stuff to work out tomorrow. I got stuff to debug. My my data input stuff is kind of exploding. Let's see if that problem is only for special teams or if I've broken my code. The best way to know that is just go defense and click on here and put in a defensive formation and see if I can actually move. Nope, my defensive formations work fine. So that's good. I still have these weird errors, so that's a thing. If I go here, let's try one more time. We'll go kick too deep. Let's see if the problem. I'll reset. Oh, my reset is busted, big time. Boo. Let's go back here. So reset is a not thing I can use right now. But in the meantime, let's click here. Yeah, my it's having trouble with my move action. It's not drawing my lines. So, yep, got a couple things to work on tomorrow. But until then, Karama, good chatting with you, man. Thanks for conversing a little. Till next